Hello. So, first of all, I want to wish you a happy new year. We haven't, I wanted to say we haven't spoke for a while, but we never spoke. Maybe one time I'm gonna do also a live. I feel I'm not ready for that yet. It's been a slow December. Not much work to do. Not even now, on the beginning of 2025. Maybe they will come in the future. But there's a very, very long time since I've done a YouTube video. And today I said I'm gonna take the opportunity and maybe make a tutorial. So I was thinking about making a tutorial about how to handle the ripped pads on the iPhone boards. When the boards drop, or when the phones drop, or when if you have a big phone like a Pro Max, for example, the case is extremely big, and if you keep it in a pocket or back pocket, it tends to flex a lot, so it bends, and also the boards bend with it. While they bend, they will rip pads. Over here, the pads that connect to the bottom board interposer. So this is an old board. As you can see, it's missing the CPU, but it's good for this video's purpose because it's missing a lot of pads. If we look under the microscope, we can see there are lots of pads missing. So as you see, this board having that many pads missing, apparently I've moved the CPU. I did a full transplant to a different board. I don't know if this was a data recovery or if it was a fix, but certainly it is that I've moved everything over. But now I want to speak about how we fix this when they are not really that many. Well, we can do if there are that many too. The problem is that when you have this many ripped pads, it means the board was really, really flexed, and it's not just these pads that break. You can also get disconnects under the CPU. You can get broken PMIC, you can get a lot of these small inductors that are getting disconnected, and all sorts of issues. You can actually see how bent this board is bent like this, right? Even if we repair it, it's gonna be a bit difficult to put it back together and have everything connected. Also, with that many pads, it's very possible that we're gonna have issues in the future, and the board might come back while on warranty. So first of all, I wanna show you 3 ways we can fix this ripped pads. One way is using the wire and recreate the pads using a wire. I have here several types of wires. As you can see, this is 0.01 millimeters and these two are 0.02, and you're gonna ask why it's 2 different ones if it's the same size. This one is insulated, meaning that it's a copper wire, and outside it has an insulated layer. This one I mostly use for very, very long jumpers. Usually when we come from the bottom of the board and inside the interposer, so it doesn't, or when you have long traces that you don't want to touch, you don't want the wire to touch any component. So this is insulative, meaning that we're gonna have to clean the end of the wire to be able to thin it, right? This is a conductive one, meaning that it's purely copper wire, and everywhere you touch it, it makes contact. I think we're gonna use the 002 for this example. This is a thinner wire, also conductive, so it doesn't have any insulation. This is 001 millimeters, but I think it's gonna be easier to use the 002. But we're gonna have a look. I don't do it with wires, never, because I'm not very handy when it comes to making the wire like a round thing. You know, I'm gonna show you, but I've seen videos with people with incredible skills in doing that. Okay, so this is one way to fix those broken pads. Another way is to use this type of thing. This is from Wiley. These are pre-made pads. They look like this, right? So let me put it under the microscope so you can see it better. Yeah, so these are pre-made pads. As you can see, I've used a lot. I have this for a long time. You can see here we also have pads that are having also a trace that you can use to rebuild all sorts of traces, rectangular, round, a bit larger round ones, more large round ones, and so on. But for these interposer pads, we're gonna use these ones that you can see here in the image. Yeah, so with this we can rebuild the how's it called, the pad. Then there is a third option, very interesting one. I didn't use it yet, but I think I'm gonna use it in the future. I'm gonna show it to you. Maybe that one will apply the most for this type of work where we have very many pads broken. So if we look at the schematic here, at the board view, sorry, yeah, we can see that, for example, on this board, I have everything broken from around here. Yeah, you can see my mouse. Everything here is broken up to here. When you redo the pads, you usually redo the ones that are really necessary. The rest are grounds. Yeah, but when you have that many broken, it's good to do grounds also, because it adds a lot of stability to the board. So basically you need to look here and see which ones you actually need when you redo them, right? So first of all, as in tools, we need either the wires, either the pads, or the third option. I'm gonna show you how it looks. Then for all of them we need a UV curing lamp, and we need the green goo, how's it called, the solder mask. Okay, but for all these methods, we need to clean these pads and create a good contact here. Yeah, we can try to work with this here under near the CPU. So we can see the pads here. I'm gonna take a Dremel, if I can ever find it. I really don't know where I put it. Here it is. So I have a Dremel here. Let me show you how it looks. Yeah, it's a Mega ID or something. And it has a sharp point here. This rotates, right? This was sharper, but I broke the tip. I don't have a sharper one now, so I'm gonna use this one. And let's try to clean this. So this is an iPhone 12 Pro board, right? So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna easily Dremel this until we have a good pad over there. You know, these are grounds here. Okay, let's see how they look. Let me get a brush and brush it a bit. Yeah, so it's not very bad. You don't necessarily need a Dremel. You can also use the knife tip and just do this. It takes a bit more time, but you can eventually do that. Yes, I'm just cleaning it with the blade. Now I have one here that I didn't properly Dremel. Yeah, and I'm gonna take the Dremel because it's faster and do a few more. Okay, I think we're good here. So we have a lot to work with. Alright, so let's do one using a wire. So I'm gonna take this first one here. I wanna make sure you see it. Okay, so for that one I'm gonna use some solder, and I'm actually gonna take some solder paste on the tip of my knife. Okay, 1 second. And then with some tweezers, yeah, I'm gonna spread just a little tiny bit of this blob over here. It's a bit too much. So this is 138. No, sorry, it's 183 solder paste. 183, right? And I'm gonna take the hot air, set it to 350, and I'm gonna hit this one until it's gonna make a solder blob over there. Yeah, so we have there a solder blob that sticks to the pad that we uncovered using the Dremel. Let me put some more flux. Hold on. Okay, like that. And now let me get a wire. So let's try with the 0.02 millimeters. One. And okay, I still have the paste here. So I have a piece here of 0.2 millimeters wire that I'm gonna tin. Let me find some rosin and prepare the solder iron. Let me get a sharp tip. Good. And I can actually tin it here directly into this solder paste. Can we see the paste? Yeah, we can. Not very good. But I'm just interested in the tip of the wire. Yeah, you can see the wire there. And I'm just gonna thin the tip. And that's it. Not too much. Alright, and now let's see if we can actually solder it using the oh, this is a bit too big. So this is the 002, and I feel it's a bit too big for our application, but let's give it a try. Let me try to have very shaky hands. So this is why I don't really like working with wires. Not sure which is the end that I've thinned. I think it's this one. Yeah, here. Alright, so my shaky hands. Okay, so that is soldered in place. Let me see how we can clean it gently. So we can we need to clean it because we need to apply a solder mask, and that solder mask does not work, will not stick if it has flux on it. Okay, so it cleaned up pretty nicely. It looks like this. I'm gonna cut the wire. I don't even know how long to do it because, as I said, I usually don't use this method, but I'm gonna do it like this. Alright. I feel the wire is a bit too thick. I think the 001 would have been better for this application. And now I'm gonna try to rotate this wire like this and try to create like a pad. I feel it, I should have left it a bit longer. Yeah, so longer wire would have been better here. See what I mean? Because of my shaky hands, it's extremely difficult for me to do these rounded shapes. Alright, so this is not good, but not the worst of them all. I'm gonna leave it like this. You get the idea. If it was a bit longer, it would have been better. Now I'm gonna take a bit of solder mask and apply it there using the tweezers. And let's see, what do we get? Yeah, something like that. I think it's good. And now we can take the UV light. You won't see anything because I'm keeping the UV curing lamp over the board, and it's between the board and the microscope. I'm gonna keep it for 20 seconds, then another 20 seconds. 20 seconds are gone, another 20 seconds. Good. And now I'm gonna apply some hot air. My hot air machine keeps throwing errors. And we can now see that it changed the color and the texture. Cool. And now we can just scrape this off using the knife. Yeah. So something like this will create an area that the solder will stick to when connecting it to the bottom interposer. Right, so this is one way to do it. As I said, I'm not very good at it because of my shakiness, but now I'm gonna show you a way to do this using the pre-made solder logs. So again, I'm gonna need some solder paste, also 183 on the tip of my blade. And now I'm gonna do like 3 pads. I'm gonna add some paste here, some paste here, and some paste here. Yeah, and that's enough for what I need. Let me clean the blade. Let me clean the tweezers. Okay. And now let's take those pre-made pads. So I'm gonna put them under the microscope and take each one with the tip of the tweezer. Yeah, it sticks to the tip. I'm gonna put one here. Cool. And I'll get another one here. Cool. And the third one here. Okay. So with those in place, we're gonna come now again with hot air and get them hot until they will the solder will melt and they will be soldered to the board. So one flew, never mind. We're gonna ignore that one. Okay, and this, as you can see, they are already melted and making a good contact there. Okay, now what we need to do is clean the flux, because that solder paste contains flux. So I'm gonna take a bit of cotton. This is too much. And try to clean it without leaving a lot of wires. Not wires, a lot of pieces of hair like this one here. See? Good. Now that it's cleaned, again, we can come with a solder mask. Let me get some on the tip of the tweezers. And Of course, the one that flew away, we would have needed to redo it. It happens. I didn't pay too much attention, but it sometimes happens. Okay, and now let's apply the solder mask like this. Good. So solder mask is applied. Let me clean the tweezers because I always forget to clean them, and this is so nasty, and I'm gonna have everything like green. Good. And now I'm gonna take again the curing lamp, the UV light, and gonna apply it 20 seconds, then another 20 seconds. This has a 20-second shutdown protection, so I don't have to count. I had ones that were not automatic, so then I would count the seconds, but this one turns off after 20. It's not that great. The old one, I think it was a bit better. That I had something from real life, but I forgot it turned on and it melted. It dissipates a lot of heat, that LED. Alright, so now we apply hot air again, just to harden it better. You can see it changes like color and texture. Yeah, so now it looks really good. And now we can take the knife and just scrape off the excess solder mask of this. Okay, so here we have two pads, two new rebuilt pads. They look quite good. Yeah, I can't say anything about it. They really look okay. Good, so this was the second option. Now for the third option, we're gonna have to make some solder balls. And for the third option, I'm gonna do all this here, right? We're gonna cover also the grounds and the necessary ones here. For this one, so first of all, I'm gonna apply a tiny amount of flux, not too much. This is obviously too much, because we're gonna lose our balls if we have too much flux. Alright, 1 second. Okay, sorry, so I got a call, so I got distracted a bit. So we added some flux there. It's a bit too much, but we're gonna ignore that for the moment. And now we're gonna take a stencil and I'm gonna create some balls. Let me find one. We don't need too big balls, but not. So I think these ones here are good. I don't want too small balls, but also not too big. Yeah, let's use this one. This one here. I'm gonna use 183 paste again. Let me get some paste here. It's a bit wet, but it's a bit too wet. Okay, so I added there a lot of paste. Let's see if we can do it like this, because it is very wet. I should have dried it a bit. And I'm gonna use again my hot air is acting up. I'm gonna use 330 here and 30R. Good, because it's too wet. You see how it bubbles because of the high content of flux. I'm coming with the hot air from very far away. Alright, so I think we have a few usable ones. I'm gonna throw away some of these because these are a bit too large. We had multiple connecting there, and let's see, yeah, we have enough over there. So I'm gonna take the board here. You can see both okay, you can see both the balls. And we're gonna place a ball on each pad. These are a bit big. Maybe smaller ones would have been better. Man, this is very sticky. It's a lot of dirt on my tweezers. I'm getting another call. I'm gonna need to pause this again. Okay, sorry, I was interrupted again. So we continue adding some more balls here. Okay, so I think we're fine with this. Oh man, there's so much gunk here. Okay, let me clean my tweezer with some alcohol because it's in a really bad shape. Okay, and now let me put this a bit away like that, and I'm gonna use hot air and have these balls melted. So use the balls because I want the same I want to have the same size for each ball. We didn't put, as we put for the other works, we put just some solder paste. I'm using the hot air from far away so I don't lose these balls. It's gonna take some time to heat up. Okay, I've lost one of the balls. Let me get another one. That is a bit annoying. Okay. I'm gonna use 350. And the air is a bit too much, so I'm coming from very far away. And I'm gonna wait for this to melt. One of them tried to escape. Now another one. Yeah, so the balls are now melted. This one is not behaving. Okay, we're gonna ignore that one for now, but the rest are connected there. Get another call, sorry. Okay, so I'm back again. Let me clean this mess here. First of all. Give me 1 second, please. Okay. So we have these balls here. I'm gonna take a brush and now I'm gonna clean the IPA. The flux using some IPA. Okay, and it looks really good. We're gonna ignore the missing one. This is just an example, so if you needed to do it in real life, we should have taken another ball and handle that too. Alright, and now I'm gonna use a lot of solder mask, and I'm gonna apply the solder mask all over these balls. Well, I said a lot, but I really used a bit too much. Let me spread it, because I put too much here. I'm gonna spread it for a while, otherwise we're gonna okay, so the solder mask is spread. I'm gonna use the UV light. Let me put this aside. Good, and now I'm gonna use 20 seconds. Remember the important thing, another 20 seconds. The important thing is to use a higher temperature alloy here. For example, if you're gonna, I'm always using like 183 solder here, because the interposer I'm gonna reball with 148 solder, or some use 138, and so it's gonna be needed to be a different alloy with a higher melting point, right? And now I'm gonna apply some hot air just to make this thing stronger. Good. So it looks like this now. Let me clean the tweezers, because they are full of solder mask. Let me clean this tool. I'm just waiting for the board to cool off a bit. And now I'm gonna take a blade and I'm gonna gently cut this. Like this. Yeah, I've been over them once. Gonna go again. Alright, and now let me do this. Now I'm gonna scrape the excess until we get to the same level as the board is, and this looks very, very nice. See, the result is truly exceptional. Let's also do this one here. The one here that it's a bit lower. We still need to scrape it a bit more. Remember, these are old ones, so we don't care about their looks. We care about the ones that we've made now. Yeah, so we're now kind of leveled with the board. And I think we're good. Let me blow some air over it. Use some IPA. So what do you say? I think it's a good result. So these are the ones we created using the balls, this here. These are created with the lugs, with the pre-made ones, and this is created with a wire. Of course, the weakest one is the wire, because it's only gonna have a few, a tiny bit of area that's gonna stick with the solder on the interposer. I'm using this technique here, but if you have many, apparently the one using the solder balls is a bit better. Right, so now you can see the mess on the desk after we worked on this. Let's see if we can see it on this camera, but I don't think we will be able to. So we did the ones here, right? Yeah, so this is it. This is the video that I wanted to share with you. I don't know if you have any ideas, because as I said, it's been a slow period, so there's not many repairs on my side. If there's something you wanna see or something you want me to talk about, just post in the comments, and I'm gonna try to make a new video. So until then, see you later. Have a good one, and maybe we're gonna come with something interesting for next video. Thank you and bye.